Hello everyone. I hope thanks for Pawan letting me know. I thought I started the session, but I like it is just in the preview mode only. I hope the video is now available to you guys. Are you able to see it, Pawan? Tell me about the audio and video. Is it like good that you are you able to see it? Okay, okay. Thanks for letting me know, Pawan. Now it is visible. Okay, thanks for letting me know. So shall we start? Okay. So hi everyone, welcome back to another video of our AI ML class. I hope you have watched the previous video, and even you haven't watched it, however, I suggest you watch it. But if you even you haven't watched it, you can continue with this session also. I generally try to explain everything from the basics, so it would be good for you. Also, you can tell your colleagues and friends about this session and invite them to this meeting. I generally go try to go live maybe by 7 in the evening or 8 in the evening according to the Indian standard timing. Or if you guys have any doubt in AI, cloud or DevOps, or you are want to prepare for some interviews related to them, please let me know in the comment section if we can go for a one-on-one session. And if you like feel any doubt, or we will look like in what ways we I can help you guys. Okay. So okay, thanks for Pawan letting me know that it is visible. Thank you. So without any further delay, let's get started. So in the previous video we have talked about, we have started this our project of AI project, that is customer churn prediction, where we talked about we want to make a basically a AI model, ML model, which can predict which customers are going to leave our mobile phone operator or company. Okay, so this is the main objective of our making of our AI model. And we also talked about MDLC, that is model development life cycle, where we talked about all these 6 phases in detail. And also then we talked about we have already talked about fully about the planning phase, and in which also we talked about these 2 phases, that is business problem, where we talked about the problem, what is the problem, we should have a clear idea about the problem from a business perspective. And also we have talked about the ML problem framing, where we frame that business problem according to in a technical problem, so what needs to be solved. And in this planning phase, mostly especially in the business problem, product managers, delivery managers are getting involved, so they generally deal with that. And in ML problem framing, solution architect and the technical people started getting involved, and they plan uh, this whole model development life cycle of all the phases. So let's start on our next phase, that is data processing phase, in which we are talk about multiple things we are going to do in this data processing phase, like from the data collection to preparing data for our users and converting into a usable format, feature engineering, and basically we are going to main goal is to make sure our data is prepared for the training purpose. So that is the basic purpose of data processing here. Okay. So for first step is to, we have already downloaded in the previous video our data set, correct? So you can go to this Willy website and come to this student companion site. I hope this screen is visible to you guys. Yes. Okay. So you go to this Willy, you can watch in the previous video, or you can just go to this Willy and just search for this book, Discovering Knowledge in Data, and just click on this View Student Companion site and click on here. It will make you download this data set .zip file, and through that, uh, wait. and you have to just extract the dataset file, and in that you will found the churn.txt file, which you can utilize for which we are going to utilize as a dataset basically. Okay, so let's so now we have that data set into a local. So basically we need to store that into a cloud, because everything because this AI model training is a very resource consuming. We require a high power, high GB RAM, high CPU, and we need a lot of space, and generally it requires a lot of like resources. Okay, and we already talked about this that we can get IT resources on demand on pay as you go model. That is, whatever we are going to utilize, we have to pay only for that. So that comes as that are provided you using cloud, and we are going to use AWS as our cloud service provider. So we already talked about it, that we are going to utilize cloud service provider, correct? AWS as cloud service provider. So basically, we have talked about that it provides us IT resources. So to store our data set, basically we need a storage, which is also form of IT resources, right? We talked about compute, network, storage, and analytics, different IT resources. So storage can be of different types. Generally, we categorize them into four categories, that is object storage, block storage, and file system storage, and the cache. So these are generally we divide storage into four types. So for our use case, we are going to utilize the object storage. Why that so? Because object storage is heavily optimized for read heavy workloads. Because for us, what we just wanted to utilize it for the training purpose. We don't want to edit it, or we don't want to perform anything on that data set. We just want to utilize it to train our model. Okay, so just it is basically more and more read heavy. w- we want to utilize it for the read only purpose only. So if that is your use case, then you should always go for the object storage. And what also other purposes is like content distribution. So you can take example of Hotstar. Okay, so if you look at Hotstar or Amazon Prime or Netflix, any of these which are basically in general, also they are utilizing AWS as their cloud service provider. Amazon Prime is basically Amazon's another organization only. So all these are utilizing AWS, and they are utilizing this object storage to basically store all their movies, because they, we are not going to edit that movie or cut that movie. We are just watching it. Basically, we are reading that file. Okay. So if that is your purpose, so all these storage which you have talked about, they are divided based on the like purpose for which you want to utilize. So here our purpose is just the read only. Basically, we want to read it like continuously. If that is your purpose, you want to read heavily that data which you are to store, then you should always use this object storage. Just like for website hosting also, you can utilize the object storage, because in website also we are just reading that mostly reading that information which you have put out on your website. Generally, you are the only person who are going to put out that information to it. But if like there are multiple users are coming to it, then for that use case, object storage is not going to be perfect for you. But if you just wanted, just like there is a blog where you are the only one who is going to edit that data or information blog page, and rest are just reading it. Okay, so for that uses particularly, the object storage is the best storage to look for. Okay, and also you can do it for the big data analytics, what basically we are looking for, and the ML workflows, which is the basic what we are looking, because we are just going to, we are not going to edit it, we are just utilizing it for the read only purpose. Okay, and is also well suited for scenarios where you want to store, access and distribute it globally over the internet. Just I give you an example of all these OTT platforms where these movies are going to watched globally across the platform. So if you want your content to be delivered across the globe with high speed, high availability, scalability, and so all these terms I have explained in the previous video, maybe you can watch it. I will provide the link in the description as well. I hope you have already watched it. Okay. Sir, how does YouTube is storing a millions of videos? Are they really storing in DB centers? Yes, Pawan, of course, they are storing in actually uh, their data centers. It basically nothing is as I already told you when I explaining about the cloud, that nothing is in you can say it is in the cloud. It is basically stored in their database, in their data centers, and we are just accessing it. Okay. They have just by when we like purchase their subscription, we just get the key of that file, and we can access that particular file. So key, you can understand it is like a lock and key mechanism. So there is generally these files are locked, and when you purchase their subscription, they just with their with our user information, login information, they attach a key. So that now we are able to see it, because like some users are able to see it and some are not able to see it. For so to do that, they have to utilize this lock and key mechanism, which is also you have heard of this KMS, that is key management service, where we apply this mechanism. So we are going to talk about it more into detail when we are actually going to utilize it. So I hope this is clear to you. And but yeah, they are storing millions of video, but basically before storing it, they just optimize all these video into a a very smaller format, and but they utilize artificial intelligence and machine learning models to do that. So the storage will they take less storage, but the quality will remain same. Okay. So this is what YouTube does basically. So if you publish a video on YouTube, so it will take time to process that video. It will not just put your video as it is. Even I put like 5 GB of RAM, 5 GB of or video onto YouTube, and then when I download it again, it just becomes some 100 MB of video. So this will happen. They and also they will using this artificial intelligence, they just break it down that same video into multiple pixel format. That's why you are able to downgrade the picture quality as well and the video quality as well. Okay. So yeah, they are utilizing different storage. So everybody has to utilize to store data. Definitely, you need to utilize this storage. And YouTube is utilizing this Google Cloud platform, which is because YouTube is basically owned by Google, and which is basically owned by Alphabet, and all these are subsidiaries. So that's how we are able to access millions of users are able to access across the globe that same file, and it can be played multiple times. Similar is the case here with the object storage. Okay. And especially if you don't know what kind of data you are going to get, it photos, videos, emails, and all this, in that case, uh, or it can be any type of data, unstructured data it is, then you have to then object storage is the best thing to choose for to storing your data. Okay. So here we our data is known as object. When you store data into object storage, it will become an object, and it will be stored into a bucket. So bucket is basically you can treat it as like an folder where you store your data into is known as bucket or container. Okay. So let's move to our AWS management console. So we have come to our AWS management console. We have already talked about how to create IAM policies and different services, and this management console in the previous video. So make sure you check that out. Okay, let me check if there is. That means we have to use non-relational database, right? So, Pawan, here we are not talking about the database. Database is a totally different take. We will talk about that later. Here we are talking about storage, where we want to like basically store our data like uh, into just simple format. Here we have no idea what kind of store data we can have. Okay, so in that case you have to utilize this object storage. Database we will come it at the later stage. Okay, don't get confused with that. Okay, so let's come to our console. So as I already told, AWS Object Storage Services S3. So as you can see, currently I'm in Mumbai region as I live in India. So the nearest region to me is Mumbai. So you can choose the nearest region, whatever location you are in. So there are multiple locations available in the AWS storage. So why AWS has this region? It is very important to know before we go ahead with the our storage, because uh, let's come to a screen. So basically, let's understand what is this AWS region. Okay, so AWS region is the physical location in the world, and it is generally represented by AP South 1, AP Southeast 1, or like all these terminologies. So if you go here and you can see Mumbai is represented by AP South 1, and Osaka is represented by AP Northeast 1. Basically, AP here means Asia Pacific, US represent United States, European Union, Canada. So they are represented by this region code. Okay. And you can see these are the physical location, means Ohio is a physical city. You can go there, and North California. All these are physical location in the world. So why there is a need of AWS feel that there should be need to divide all these. Uh, we should select all these regions. Okay, you need to understand that first. So basically, what is the main reason behind it? First is that the location of your user base. Okay, so where your user reside, if like data is closer to that user, then it will be less delay to that particular user, right? If you have otherwise, because cloud is basically working over the internet, and if the data is residing in the US, and me as a user want to access that file, so it will take a in second delay, 1 to 3 second delay, if I am able to access that file, and there will be a latency. In technical terms, that delay is known as latency. Okay, so that you will face. So if you choose a region near to your user base, then it you will face less latency, and you provide high performance to your user. So that's why all these whatever the user are utilizing, they generally the website hosting or everybody generally try to put in the same region, data into the same region. Just like here I am in Mumbai, so I will try to I'm not in Mumbai, but I am in I in India. So the nearest region to me is the Mumbai. So if I put my data into Mumbai, I will be able to access that data with less delay or less latency. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. Okay, for the screen is not visible. Yeah, okay. I hope the screen is visible to you guys. Okay, Pawan, you are saying something. Okay, no, sir. Type, we are going to store our data raw or unsorted. Yeah, so as I already show in the previous session that our data is basically unstructured in the basically a comma separated value format. So we are going to store that txt file as it is as of now, and then we will process that file and into a usable format so it can be utilized properly by our algorithm. So uh, that is the basically comes under the data processing phase, right? So, and another second term, when you are choosing that region, you need to take care of the compliance. Basically, if you go to US or the European Union side, any European country, they have laws for their data privacy laws that you cannot take their data, customer data outside their country, right? So to comply with that particular laws or other legal arrangement, when you are dealing with the big businesses, you want to follow all the uh, laws there. You don't want to get into a legal trouble. So for that purpose also, it is also suitable to choose region which follows all the laws. So suppose my if my user base is more into US side, so I will set up I will put my data or my put IT resources into that particular region only. So it will not I will not get into a legal trouble into US terms. So I can easily serve them. It will be closer to them, and also I am following all the government compliances. Okay. And also second is the service availability. Third is the service availability. Basically, not all AWS services are available into every region. Okay, so let me just show you. If you go to this console, and so basically let's open our service which you are going to utilize right now. So AWS object storage service is the S3. So I'm going to search here S3, so you can see it is a scalable storage into the cloud. So let's just open it. It has the bucket like icon, and I already told about it. So you can see it can store and retrieve any amount of data from anywhere. So for global purpose, it is very useful. And every object in S3 is stored in a bucket. So that's why we need to create a bucket first. And to upload file and folder to S3, you need to create a bucket, as I already told. Or Azure, basically, if you are using Azure, then this bucket is known as container, and they Microsoft call this object as a blob. Okay, so just the terminology is different, but like Google also called it as object and bucket only, but somehow Microsoft differ with the terminologies, and they call object as a blob and a bucket as a container. And this S3 service, they call it as Azure Blob Storage. And in Google Cloud Service Provider, Google Cloud Platform, this service, it is known as cloud storage. Okay, so and you can see about the pricing as well, that there is no minimum fees and you have to only pay for what you are using, and the prices are also based on the location of your S3 bucket. Okay, so let me just click on this create bucket. So here you can see first thing it is asking for the region. Although you can see here S3 is showing as a global service, right? It is not letting me select the region here. But here when I'm creating this bucket, it is asking me a region. So S3 is a not a global service, but its UI, it is a global interface, and there is a specific reason why it is a treat as a global. But your data is stored in a particular region where you want to store your data. Basically, where you want to create your bucket, your data will be stored at there only. Okay, so I am saying some services are not available into different regions, right? So if I select here North Virginia, here you can see I am getting this option of choosing the bucket type, that is general purpose bucket or directory bucket. But if I choose like Mumbai region, I'm not getting that option of different bucket types. I'm just defaultly can create this general type bucket only. Okay. Even if I select US other region, North California or Ohio, I'm not getting that option. Only in North Virginia, which is I practically, as I'm working since on AWS since years. So I generally found that North Virginia is the region where generally they test everything before and then they roll out to other regions. Okay, so this is the most updated where they test their features. But if you go to Mumbai, you won't see that. Okay, so that what I am telling, that's if you want to use the directory bucket, then you have to create into this North Virginia only. You don't have any option for at all. So we are going to talk about it, what is this general purpose and directory buckets. But when you are choosing a region, you need to take care, like if you want to utilize a particular service, if that service is available into your region or not. So that thing you need to keep in your mind. And last thing, as we already see in the case of our S3 service as well, right? It is a like a pricing, it varies from region to region, right? It is, I guess, written outside. If we go cancel it, so you can see it prices are based on the location of your S3 bucket. So where you are creating your S3 bucket, so pricing also depend on it. So if you don't have need to worry about all the other factors here, like you don't need to worry about latency, compliance, and service availability, and your main consideration is pricing only, then you can compare the pricing into the different regions and choose accordingly where it is like costing you very less. Okay. So suppose if it is costing you less into Oregon region, then you can choose it. So in Oregon region also like this options is available, but in North California and other region it is not available. Okay. So that's how you choose AWS region. I hope this region concept is clear to you guys. Okay, please let me know. Okay. And also, so AWS region is basically a part of AWS global infrastructure. So AWS has spread out its infrastructure all across the globe, and as I already told, divided into this AWS region. Also, all this region is also divided into multiple availability zone, and in that availability zone, they have different data centers. Okay, we will talk about for 1 2 minutes about this availability zone as well. Also, you need to be clear about this term also, on premises. So on premises basically just like I have anything into my computer, any data in my computer, so I will call it as on premises computer. Or if I have any hard disk, so it is known as on premises storage, because hard disk is basically used for storage. So any IT resources you have like locally, then you can call it as on premises IT resources. Okay. So on premises, is it clear, is as on premises where you are storing your IT resources, where your IT resources basically reside. Okay. So availability zone are what, basically they are like in every region there are generally 3 to 6, or sometimes there are only minimum two are required into like two availability zones generally are there into each region. Okay, just like if like I can show you here. So in Mumbai region, there are like generally three, in every region also there are three availability zones. They are further divided into multiples, d- like categories or sections basically. So you will get the high availability and the like it will be easier for the disaster recovery as well. Okay, if something happened to one data center, then another data center will be up into your Mumbai region, right? So for that purpose, like availability zones concept come into picture, and in this availability zone also there are multiple data centers available, and each with the different power. They have like they are not like have the same power connection. They have the different network connectivity, and they are into different buildings basically, and at the different location in Mumbai, because that physical location Mumbai is not a, like a small place. They have like a different uh, what you can say, different sections into, or different sectors there. So they are generally resided into different sections, so it will not be affected if anything happened to any one office, or you can say Amazon's aid, or basically AWS on-premise data center. Basically, they have the on-premises data center for AWS at least. For us, it is cloud, but for AWS, it is their on-premises data center. Correct? So they are generally separated from each other. And that's how they ensure the high availability, fault tolerance, and disaster recovery. And you can see they like all these availability zones are represented by South 1A, South 1B, and South C, as we see. Just then they started adding alphabet there. So inside Mumbai also you can store into different availability zone also. Okay. So I hope these two concepts are clear to you, and availability zones and AWS region. Okay. And so AWS has total 32 regions as of now, and they have already announced the five more regions. So it will become 37 regions, and also they have more than 100, 100 total, 102 as I counted last availability zone, and they have already announced 15 uh, availability zones. So you can see generally they have in the in one region they have three uh, availability zone, but in some regions I have seen they have only two availability zone, and in some they have like four to six also availability zones. And this regions and availability zones are spread across 245 countries and territories. So it will be more clear to you by seeing this diagram. So I hope the diagram is visible to you guys. So you can see here, like in AWS cloud, we have this region, and inside that region, we have this availability zones, multiple availability zones, 1A, 1B, 1C. And in that availability zones, we can have one or more data centers, which are totally separated from each other. Okay. So that's how they ensure that uh, we like it our infrastructure or our data, it can be stored across different geographies, so we will get the high availability. It will be our data will become more recoverable to any disasters, or we will become prone to this fault tolerance also. Okay. So, and it is should be highly available across the globe, and uh, you will get more performance as IT resources are more near to you. So that's how AWS or any cloud service provider divided its services into multiple regions. Okay. But there are some AWS services which are available across the globe, like which are not dependent on the region. Just like we have already learned about this AWS IAM, that is identity and access management. And there are some services which I mentioned on the screen. You can read out organization, CloudFront, Route 53. So they generally are not like region specific. They don't require the need of a region. Just like in case of IAM we have talked about. So I have created user. So I want my user to like basically you uh, when I created that IAM user, it will be created for all the regions, right? I can create using that. I can if I go to show on your screen. So using that user, I am able to access all these multiple regions, right? So that user is created across the globe. I can use it into the US region. I can use it across Australian region or multiple regions. Similarly, this S3 bucket is going to create it into a region, but why it is showing global? Because I can access this bucket across because this bucket is will also provide me a URL, okay, which we are going to take later. But that URL, basically any URL we can access across the globe. So that's why they created this S3 UI as a global, because uh, that S3 bucket is will remain basically same for as it will be convert like data will be provided in the form of URL also. You can provide it, and so and also you can host your website, and it should be unique across the globe. So that's why they put it as a global. But your data, you can choose wherever you want to store your data. Okay. So, do you guys have any doubt? Okay, thank you for Pawan for your acknowledgement throughout the session. It is really helpful for me. Okay, so yeah, so let's come to our like screen and our management console. So yeah, here it is a very new concept of directory buckets. So you can see generally in all across the region A1 we are going to utilize this general purpose, which is basically it can be generally as I selecting this if I select this, as you can say, let's take example of this North Virginia only, okay, as of now. So in North Virginia, there are we already know there are multiple availability zones, right? It can be in North Virginia, these data centers, Amazon data centers are at the different location. So if you are going to choose general purpose database, general purpose bucket, then it will be store like that data will be stored into multiple data centers. Okay, in that particular region only, but into multiple data centers or multiple availability zones. So that makes my data will be more fault tolerant, more disaster recoverable. But if you just are want to focus on the performance side, okay, so I want my then if you want my your data to be like fully performance oriented, you don't need all these features like high availability, or you don't want to like follow the principle of disaster recovery and all, then you can use this directory bucket, which is especially designed for low latency, which is basically uh, wait, I have to like sign in again. Just give me a minute so I can sign in again. Will be done in easy. Yes. Okay. So here you can see it is designed just for the low latency use case, because it will be stored into that particular like availability zone, as you can see, into a within a single availability zone. So it will be very near to a very specific where you want to store our data. So you can easily access to it. Generally, you select the availability zone which is near to you, right? So it is just using one zone. So if you want that high performance or very low latency, if you doing that task, then you can choose this directory bucket. But for us, there is no like requirement it as well. And also it will cost you like different from this general purpose. Generally, I found it they cost like higher in comparison to general purpose. But it totally depend on your use case. It is not that much big difference, but we are going to utilize general purpose. Also, my region, it is Mumbai. So in that, as of now, currently that option is not available. But I hope you got the idea, the difference between general purpose and like directory. Basically, it is totally depend on the performance side. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So I hope the screen is visible to you. Yes, it is visible. So then we have to choose the bucket name. So, and this bucket name, as it has already said, it should be unique. As I already told, it will become a URL. They will make a URL using this bucket name. So that URL has to be unique across the globe, right? Every DNS, like if I have a website kaustubhsharma.com, then there cannot be a website across the globe having the same name. So that's why they need a bucket name, unique bucket name across the globe. It's not dependent on your AWS account. In all the AWS account, across all the AWS account, across all the regions, it should be unique, this name. Okay. So let me, can you guys suggest me any name which you want me to tell me like this will be good to as a name? Okay, we can try AI ML demo. Let's see if we get this name or it is already been occupied someone else. Also, if you have any existing bucket, then you can copy all those settings. Just click on this choose bucket, and currently I don't have any bucket into my account. Just you can just select that bucket and all the settings will be copied. It will be easier if you are like creating multiple buckets, then it will become very easy. Also, second thing, you need to learn about this object ownership. Like if generally it is recommended by AWS that you generally keep all these, especially object ownership setting or block public access setting. You don't change this setting, but just for your understanding, I can basically tell you about all this, like what is they represent basically. Wait, okay. Yes, I hope. Yeah, yeah. So is the screen visible or how is it? Yes, Pawan, you are saying something our session. I didn't get you. Please, like clarify if you have anything. Okay, let me explain you about this object ownership. So basically, here it is basically ACL is nothing, just the access control list. Basically, here you can control the access as the name suggests, access control is here. It is a list where through which you can control the access of your bucket, like who can like upload the like objects to it, and all these can be controlled using this like ACL. And if you enable it, then you will get this two option, like bucket owner preferred, or that will make like I am creating this bucket, so I will able to like perform any activity with the objects in that bucket. But if I select object writer, then whoever is uploading that file to it, that bucket, then he will get the access. Generally, it is recommended, and I am telling you multiple times that you should did not change it, and in also production environment we did not change it generally, and we keep it as ACL disabled. Okay, and then we are going to talk about this public access setting. This also we did not change, and we keep all these settings enabled. Okay, so generally it is also recommended to keep all settings enabled unless there is a need to turn on them on the basic like use cases. If you just like hosting any public website, so basically you want to access you want to allow others to access this bucket from outside as well, right? So then you will do it. But in our case, there is no requirement for all these data and objects to be accessed by like general public or uh, any audience which is not using we haven't provide the permission specifically. Okay, and then there is the option of bucket versioning. So bucket versioning is basically just like we know we can keep a multiple versions of our uh, like any object. Basically, just like I put a data set, and if I made a mistake into that data set, then if and I upload a new data set. Okay, and suppose somehow in the updated data set there is a mistake, and I want to revert it back to the previous data set. So that if you enable this versioning, then it will create a version of your like data set, data set one, version two. So basically, whatever versioning feature, versioning benefit we will get, then you want to keep enable this versioning, otherwise you can disable it. Okay, basically it help us to if you want to come back to previous version who is error free, then in that case it will be very beneficial for us. But as of now it will not be useful for us because we are going to utilize it just once for our model training and data processing purpose only. Then there is a tax which is utilized to track storage cost, and if you want to organize the buckets, generally we if you want to segregate it, basically it's just like any label which you customize label which you want to put to your generally it is utilized in companies, it is utilized to segregate according to the environments or who is the product owner of it. So you can type it like these multiple labels. And also when you are get that build, so you can track the cost. Okay, how many what is the production environment is costing to me, and is like cost is doing too much spend on the your environment. So we can using this tags we can see it. However, it is optional, so there is no requirement of it. Then there is an encryption. So encryption, as I already told, it is similar to like concept of making your data more secure, and basically it is a kind of lock and key mechanism. So how you want to like utilize where you want to put your keys, and what concept of lock and key you want to utilize, basically that is encryption. Defaultly it is selected as server-side encryption with S3 managed key. Basically, your key, you will not get that key, but S3 will attach that key with your login information with your AWS account, and they are going to like automatically, whenever you try to access it, they will automatically use your key and just unlock that object or data which you are retrieving, basically. Okay, so you will not actually at all see that key in working, but it is whatever data or object you are storing into S3, it always been encrypted. It has already been logged. Not everybody can access it, especially without these keys. Okay, and these are only attached with your AWS account. And if you choose this KMS, then you will get a key. If you whatever the key, you can choose it here. It is using this KMS service, which we are going to at the later stage. Basically, you can download that key, or you can create a new key and you will download it. And when you want to access any particular object, then you will provide that key, and then for you, it got unlocked. Okay. Otherwise, it will not be everybody will get just uh, like um, unknown encrypted data, and they will not even if they just download your file, they will not be able to unlock it. Okay. Similarly, there is a dual layers encryption which you can utilize using this DSSC KMS. So there are multiple available. Also, you can utilize the S3 bucket key. So which is also generally uh, like if you want to reduce the encryption cost to AWS KMS, so you can utilize the dedicated bucket key as well. So if you generally it is enabled, so whatever the default setting is, just don't for our demo, don't bother to change it. I hope all these settings are clear. Just make sure to click on create bucket. I hope this okay. As I said, it should be unique across the globe. So somebody has already done this AI/ML demo. So what should I put? AI/ML demo, a bootcamp. Should I put like this and try to create it? Okay. So now it has taken it, and our general purpose bucket has been created. So you can see AI/ML demo bootcamp bucket has been created. So let me just open it. So you can see currently it does not have any object. So what we have to do, we have to what we will do first, we will create a folder. Okay. So here we will create a folder of dataset, as I'm going to put a data set into it, and just click on create folder, so it will be more organized. And here I will upload my churn.txt here. Okay, so I will add my file and just upload this churn.txt. So you can see I have uploaded that file. It is of 427.6 KB. It has detected it's a text, plain text file. Okay. So you can see it is just giving me a destination also. That's why it is also unique. It will be like AI demo, like my bucket name, then my folder name, and then it will, if I want to use it, then it will become churn.txt slash. It is similar like a folder, just like we have a folder directory structure. So that you can do it and just click on upload. Okay, so it has been successfully uploaded. So now we have our data set here. Okay, so uh, thank you for the bucket. Okay, our session you have typed about the bucket. Okay, sorry, I didn't get at that point of time what you are trying to tell. Sorry, it's my mistake. So now we have uploaded this our data set here. So like the data, like we have already generally this all thing are already been discussed into like a planning phase, that where you want to store your data, and like you will create a folder here, and how you are going to utilize the data set. So everything will generally be discussed into planning phase. But as we are new to this AWS and we don't know at that point of time what is S3, what is this object, so that's why I didn't tell at that time. Generally in planning phase we make whole solution architect or architecture diagram where we display all the services which are going to utilize and how we are conducting each process. Okay, so I guess this session has become so long, so I don't want to spread it much more. But I hope you get understanding of what is S3, why we are utilizing S3, what is AWS region, what is this availability zones, and what is this object bucket and all this. So this is very clear to you. So also I need to just tell you one thing. Yeah. So as I already told in the previous session, that I am going to tell you everything about the all the different cloud service provider. So as I already told, in AWS, this service is known as object storage service is known as Amazon S3. In Azure, it is known as Azure Blob Storage. In Google Cloud, it is known as Cloud Storage. And AWS called object as object, and Azure called it as blob, and Google Cloud also called it as object. And the basic directory or the main folder where you are storing these objects, it is known as bucket in the AWS terms, and in Azure it is known as container, and in Google Cloud it is known as bucket. So I hope we can close this session. If you guys have any query, please let me know in the comments, and it will be really nice to have Pawan you in the throughout the session. It really helps me. And if you have any doubt, or anybody watching it later, if you guys have any doubt, please let me know in the comments. Or I hope you like this session, and please let me know if you have any doubt, uh, or if you want to add me anything, please let me know in the chat. Or if you want some improvement in the session, that also please let me know. Okay, thank you so much, guys. uh, Bye bye.